Big dude, you ready?
Yeah.
And we are live.
Yeah.
Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 183.
Yes, sir.
Today is Thursday, June 7th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? Antonio, D-Truth, 7695, Milto, Gabriel Hernandez, Malik Howard, Psycho Bunny Jones, Tessa, Kevin Hodges, John Siebert, Crypto Ty, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Come on
Let's
in.
get after it.
Facebook people, come on in.
Right. Welcome. For the free Bitcoin yesterday, what did you do and who won it?
Oh, yeah. So, for the free Bitcoin, we discussed Coinbase, or Circle, sorry. Well, would they take over Coinbase if they got the banking license first? Good comment from Vladimir Ivanov, who was our winner of the free Satoshis. Thanks for your comment. His comment basically was, going along the lines that Goldman Sachs is being, they're kind of, trying to get ahead of the game because they were, one of those companies that they jumped in, they dipped the toe in, and they dipped back out, and then they came back in full force,
and
which is what's all about. And that's what they're basically trying to make sure they get their foothold in this crypto economy. So it looks like Goldman Sachs is making a push with Circle to get this banking license, and if they can get it before Coinbase gets it, then they may be the de facto crypto bank, which should just be what we had before, unfortunately. But hey, people with money, they can afford to pay for licenses. Right. Licenses cost money,
and this is why we have the regulations.
Absolutely,
they're so fair. You gotta love them.
I know, man. Such an evenly
right. Yeah, it's open market. It's not monopolized at all. Oh, well, congratulations to who was that one more time?
Vladimir Ivanov.
Vladimir Ivanov. Congrats and thanks for watching and commenting. Thanks for all the comments, everybody.
Absolutely.
All right, let me get this article cam up that I forgot to load. Boom. We are talking about. Oh, they played me. I thought it was up there. Let's try that again. I don't know why it's up there. All right, got the Twitch camera. There we go. Boom. All right. Top story. Russian President Vladimir Putin publicly addresses crypto. And the story says, he says practically nothing.
I love that headline.
Right. Shout out to Molly Jane Zuckerman. Of course, she's been all over all the time. But he had a live Q&A yesterday, or was it today? It was today, but Russian time. It was probably like earlier or whatever.
Way earlier.
It's called the direct lines, where viewers can basically type in questions or ask questions to the Russian president. She actually points this out in the article, but it's something that's well known when it comes to presidents, generals, anybody high ranking in the country. Most of the questions have been pre-selected already. They know what they're going to ask, or at least about what they're going to ask. So with that being said, he knew he was going to get the crypto questions. Of course, every now and then you get the zingers, but usually it's like, come on, it's set up.
You're not going to be too many zingers.
Yeah, it's not, because if you're the one person that asks a zinger, 2014 when a sailor asked, I think like the Secretary of the Navy, something crazy in front of everybody, and like literally all of the bosses, everybody looked at him like, like, oh, you really gonna ask that? Even Secretary of the Navy was like, oh, that's something you should probably check with your chain of command first before you ask me. Oh yeah. And he was like, oh, I'm not gonna help you. I'm not your friend. But yeah,
not about to give me in.
So all the questions are pre-planned, but they asked President Putin, will Russia have its own cryptocurrency? Will it be controlled by the government? And do you think that in the near future, cryptocurrency will completely replace our regular standard money? His answers were actually great answers, I think, even though, it's kind of skirts and say he didn't say anything.
Very ambiguous.
But the fact that he even, acknowledged it, I think is a big deal. For the first question, he said Russia cannot have its own cryptocurrency, as cryptocurrency by definition cannot be owned by a centralized state since it goes beyond borders.
Smart man.
I love that answer. I mean, that's a great answer.
Well, at least he realizes it. Some people still think there could be nationalized cryptocurrency. So Putin at least has given up on that fact. And I don't think he's given up completely, but I think he's given up on what cryptocurrencies are becoming what he sees as a national currency. I don't think there'll be a country who has their national currency as Bitcoin. That's what he's saying, I think. But that could be.
I mean, I like the answer.
Yeah.
He said in regards to cryptocurrency as a form of payment, he said the relationship, he's quoted as saying the relationship of the central bank of the Russian Federation to cryptocurrency is that it considers crypto neither a means of payment nor a store of value. Cryptocurrency is not backed by anything. One should treat it cautiously, carefully. All right, you expect to hear that from the president. I mean,
and that's what I said. It's like at some point he's gonna have to put out the words they told him. So
right. And then the last but not least, what was the last question he asked, or he was being asked? Will it completely replace our regular standard money? That kind of goes along with it. He said, of course it wouldn't. He did say that cryptocurrency may be used, though, to avoid restrictions in the field of international financial activity. And, of course, he's more likely talking about Western sanctions.
Oh, yeah.
So we know he backed Venezuela with the petrodollar and a couple other countries. And we know the U.S. and Russia's contentious relationship throughout its history, basically. So it's funny. He's like, well, crypto's not going to take over, but we're going to use it. And the U.S. keep playing games with us.
Yeah. And some of the countries, Iran is another one that people have brought up, that they keep getting shut out of every financial, even the banks that support them are getting shut out of the financial system. So as you can see, there's always going to be a use case because there's always people on the outside of the banking system, unfortunately. And this banking system, everybody that's outside of it, they get banned from Bitfinex, they get banned from every exchange, Coinbase, and they still find a way to get it because, like I said, all you need is a computer and some electricity. So good to see Putin actually comment somewhat on how national cryptocurrencies are incompatible. He did what he's
supposed to do as a responsible president.
As a responsible president, yeah. And he didn't go off the rails and say, we'll never do this or this is never going to happen. Because too many people have said never, and then they've come back and changed their recourse. And as a president, he can't really do that. Not supposed to, at least.
Crypto Q, shout out. He said he knows because he has Vitalik in a long conversation with him, and he's not a total moron. Exactly. You haven't been talking to Vitalik Buterin for the last year or two and have no clue.
And know nothing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he knows something.
Gabriel Hernandez said when the Russian president gives more sensible answers than any U.S.-based financial authority or politician. Well, that's because we know. Listen, the U.S. is not owned by the U.S. It's owned by it's capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bunch of businessmen in power. Nobody care about nothing. They just want this money. So it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. And if you say something like that or against the U.S., then you're a terrorist.
Got to deal with it. Yep.
Yeah. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Might as well say it in every U.S. speech a politician might as well just end it and say gang, gang.
Yeah,
right?
I wish they'd just say that speech.
Yeah, so listen, it's okay. I'll play for the home team, people. It is what it is, though. You got to be honest.
That's what we do.
SEC, U.S. crypto exchanges not enthusiastic enough about regulatory compliance. What is the SEC talking about? Why are they surprised about this?
Oh man, it sounds like a parent who's angry when they tell you to go do something and you get up, you're like, you got a problem? Are you not enthusiastic about cleaning these windows? Like, it's basically what
these floorboards.
Yeah, these floorboards. Yeah, you don't want to watch it. But it sounds like the SEC is basically telling exchanges they have a time and a place that they have to sign up or do registrations, do regulations. And I think in their very small mind of regulation, just like when we were at CIAA, in their mind, they think everybody who has a business or has anything, they're going to bow down to them just as easy as everybody did before. Right. When in actuality, there are people who are fighting back, who are pushing back.
We with it. We with everything you can bring. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a nice word to say.
Yeah, they said
nobody care
because before 2009, no matter how much pushback you had to use a bank.
Right,
you had to use somebody's
bank. We don't need your money now. It's a different game.
The SEC is surprised. I wonder why, because to me they're talking about the enthusiasm for regulation. Who would be enthusiastic about getting their money taken? I mean, that's all they say. It's like, all you can do is swoop in and say, well, we got to give you money for this and pay for that and give you money for that. Who would be enthusiastic? Even if they follow it, not enthusiastic. There's plenty of business owners that follow laws who cuss out lawmakers all day. That's all they know is basically regulation. They're going to regulate this. And
y'all not happy about getting pimped?
Yeah, exactly. No. Who would be happy about regulations, especially when they impede the progress of a new technology? That's what most people are angry at. It's like, we don't even know how far this can go, and you're already trying to set limits.
I now all of a sudden only certain places can be crypto banks, as you call it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Goldman Sachs being one. Now Coinbase, since they made the cut financially, but everybody else, well, you need at least $500,000 just to fill out licensing forms and have lawyers to actually do it and figure out the double speak. Where that's not the reason why it's there,
Yeah, and I just don't see how they can continue saying, giving out regulations and then expect people to be enthusiastic. Like, yes, finally, we got somebody to come in and rein in all this terror that crypto has bought. When in actuality, it hasn't. It's done the exact opposite. So, yeah. In their mind, SEC's mind, regulation equals safety. That guy King talked to at was the CFTC or whatever.
It's a FINRA regulator.
Yeah, FINRA.
He didn't even know nothing about.
Yeah, FINRA didn't know anything, and he was like, "Well, I mean, once we regulate,
what are you regulating, dude?
You don't even know what you're regulating." So.
P Man Van said, "Should we be dancing in the streets?" Exactly. Jizzy Matt said, "Regulation means they're cut."
Exactly. That's here is smart. We're smart enough to know.
Right. Again, all it takes is for enough private business owners to fight back, people.
And there's a few, but we need more.
We need more. We need more. Coinbase acquires financial services firm to become SEC regulated broker dealer. Didn't see that coming. Again, kind of on the heels of the whole SEC thing, where you have most crypto exchanges, among the likes of Kraken and those types, where their CEOs are like, hey, buzz off. We don't need you. We don't want you, which is why we already left certain states and cities. Coinbase is like, hey, we'll do it. Please come this way.
Whole monitor,
right? Wearing that little orange and yellow safety belt or whatever. Coinbase has initiated the process to become a fully regulated broker dealer by the U.S. SEC, according to an announcement published yesterday, June 6th. This is being made possible by the acquisition of securities dealer Keystone Capital Corporation, in addition to Vinnovate Marketplace Incorporated and Digital Wealth LLC. A bunch of names you probably never heard of because they're all the people who, again, are a part of the Diddley gang. They're paying all this money to, quote unquote, get licenses and all these regulations, where in reality they're just paying cuts to other people and being allowed to use the police force and military to basically enhance their business.
And if you're kind of confused about what we mean by paying for licenses, all you have to do is wait for a company to get developed. They get the licenses themselves and then buy the company. It's so easy. It's almost laughable that people think companies don't do this regularly. All they do is wait for somebody with an idea to build the company up to where they can use it, and then just buy the company for pennies on the dollar. Simply because most people build software to get bought out. Like, I don't know.
That is true.
I don't know how many people build software thinking one day I'm never going to sell it. I mean, even the biggest software website for open source software just got sold. GitHub just got sold for $75 billion. So if you think there's a large breadth of software developers who don't think one day I can sell this to somebody, so you're sadly mistaken. Because even if it's 5 million, 10 million, that's way more than you started out with, and it's usually way more than you raised, first round. So I'm not surprised Coinbase is scooping up. They scooped up the token relay service. They got the regulated broker dealer.
If they can buy it, they will at this point.
Oh yeah,
they're just about to be buying crazy. And again, business side of things makes sense. Their game plan is, if the short term is to do that IPO. Long term, if Brian wants that stress, I mean, he's already bald, so maybe he's like, whatever.
It's already gone now.
Right, it's already
gone.
That's
why I'm with whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. Now, what I'm gonna do?
If he wants that stress, he's like, hey, I might operate this business for the next 20, 30 years. But I mean, he can definitely make a strong blitz like he's doing right now, a strong sprint run, get all the businesses he can, make his company as valuable as he can. And like we said, end of this year, early next year, go ahead and IPO that thing and walk away a very, very, very happy person.
Get my $10 billion and run.
Right. Susquehanna is opening crypto trading starting with Bitcoin futures.
Oh yeah.
American global trading and technology firm Susquehanna International Group is opening crypto trading to its clients, initially in the form of Bitcoin futures. New York Times reported a couple days ago, June 5th. They're located in Pennsylvania. They're one of the largest financial firms in the world, trading traditional investment stocks, options, ETFs, privately held company, and now they say they want a trading desk for the sale of crypto currencies, or they've had it for the past couple of years for about 500 clients. Of course, they want to hit that institutional investor market, and again, bullish signal.
Yeah.
Why would a company this big, when the price is falling and Bitcoin has died, it's 300 times this week, why would they open up this trading desk if it's over and done with?
Yeah, and one of the things you want to notice too is not only does this make it bullish for Bitcoin, this makes some of your alts super bearish, because what's going to happen is, if the SEC, they did the interview yesterday, it basically came out and said if it's an ICO, it's a security. If it's not, then it's Bitcoin. That's basically what they said. So the reason that I think Coinbase, Susquehanna, Circle, all these licenses are starting to get or is trying to get bought up is because if you have a company that can get tokenized securities through the SEC and you already have the license for it, then basically anything you put 0x, like somebody just put on there, any of the other ones, once you put it on there, you basically don't have to worry about them coming after the money that you made from it. You're already in place. You got the rules in place.
You gave them their cut. That's all they really want.
That's all they worry about. And then what's going to happen is if that token or if a coin isn't on that actual exchange, you won't be able to get it. So what will happen to those coins? They'll just die a slow death. Some of these coins won't recover anymore. You've seen the last pump. But for a lot of these non-ICO coins, that's where you'll see the money return. Some people have forgotten about them. We haven't. But you'll definitely see that return of the Mac.
Right. And the primary reason being, people, is because when it comes to these ICOs, there's someone in charge. There's someone at the helm. There is someone they can target. That's why you were saying earlier how the SEC even said Bitcoin doesn't fall under that as a security.
Not at all.
It's because they can't find nobody who's in charge. It's that's the true decentralized crypto. It's the true decentralized currency.
Yeah.
Whereas with almost every ICO out there, is unless it's somebody who's really doing it for the community, who really has a project where they have, hey, I'm not keeping any of this. You can mine it. For whatever reason, we're using our own, community money to make this happen. It's truly decentralized. Other than that, it's like, oh, okay, you're in charge of this ICO and you didn't pay the United States. And that's what's really crazy is that the SEC is saying that, all these securities and regulations. People are, for ICOs, these are global ICOs.
How they gonna get in?
Not only that, how does the SEC get to say, well, you owe us? Yeah. Why can't Russia do it? Why can't Iran do it? Why can't Syria do it? Yeah. Why can't Turkey do it? Why can't, literally every country can do the same thing the SEC is doing to every ICO saying, well, you owe us a cut too. So literally you're going to have over 150 countries saying you owe us money for doing this global ICO. ICOs are global. The SEC does not have jurisdiction. Point blank, period.
Hey.
If anything, people should start launching ICOs and exclude the United States. And then once the coin actually hits the market, then you can buy and sell just like any other crypto.
Yeah. And that's what we have now, but they're trying to regulate it after it hits the exchange. It's like, no. The ICO went on. It wasn't open to U.S. investors.
Right.
Shouldn't even be a thing in the U.S. In my opinion, if they do have a rule for it, it should be the launch of the ICO. Before that launch happens, those rules are in place. If not, then it's a problem. But after his exchange, it's too late.
But hey, gang. That's what happens when you got a huge military that can reach almost every corner of the earth. Yep. You will pay me my money.
But good luck.
Right? Crypto exchange Bitfinex bounces back after a DDoS attack. What is going on with Bitfinex? I mean, how many DDoS attacks they had in the last year?
I don't know, but it seems like Bitfinex is
it's like the same teenager who gets bored. Yeah, it's like,
Bitfinex is getting played with by somebody. It looks like Bitfinex basically they got DDoS. If you don't know, a DDoS attack is when a lot of traffic is pushed towards the site in order to block people from being able to access it. So Bitfinex, they seem to have a lot of DDoS attacks at certain point in times. It's kind of a coincidence every time, but them getting DDoS attacked along with the Bitfinex Tether problems that they've had, along with them listing new coins like IOTA, EOS, all these things that supposedly make them better. This DDoS attack has to be not under investigation, but people in crypto have to look at it and say, hey, every time they have this attack, it's always at a time where it's high volume or there's something going on. It's literally every single time. I believe the start of the bull market may have signaled it. Maybe there were a lot of buys. All of a sudden, DDoS attack. Every time there's a bullish or bearish signal going forward, DDoS attack.
That's true.
I'm not falling for this, man, because I've been in tech too long to know that there are ways to plan this. There are ways to get it going, because you can actually see the order book over the counter before it hits the actual order book on your exchange. So if they see a huge flood of long orders coming in, all of a sudden DDoS attack. So I guess like you said, they got the same teenager sitting in his mom's basement, and then they just text him every time. It's like, all right, do it now. Yeah. And well, there we go. We're offline. Sorry. And
this well-pulled tweet, one thing you want to take note of too, Bitfinex is working with the boys. It's quoted saying, Bitfinex is now requiring users to give their tax information so that I can send it to BVI, which will exchange it with your country's tax authorities. We strongly disavow. If you also disagree with this decision, peacefully protest it by withdrawing your money from Bitfinex. Again, if you have a lot of money on Bitfinex, that's already not a smart idea.
No.
But yeah, this is what's happening. There's these third-party marketing companies, whatever companies, who are taking your information, like tax information, and they're selling it back to the government. Someone else was saying, it's kind of like what you said with it at the time of the bull run. They responded back to Bitfinex saying, I was waiting patiently to strike. I believe the bulls are on the way, and I may have just missed my entry. This hackers.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's what I'm saying is, even if it's not supposedly a bullish thing, I will wait for more confirmation. Even still, like I've said before, every time it's close or there's lines of confluence where it may be a lot of activity in the volume, it's a DDoS attack every time. And it's not just them, it's a lot of different exchanges. And
everybody gets hit with it.
Everybody gets hit with it. All of a sudden, they can't to them, they could just basically say, well, we got to scale. We're working on scaling. But for people who are in the know, no, this attack is usually it's usually some backdoor stuff going on. But we'll see.
Alex Daly says Binance next. Probably, but also Binance, I feel like they got some people out here that's like, hey, we're gonna find out who did this.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna just take it and be like, oh, we lost.
Oh, you like to do DDoS attacks? All right.
And plus, I think they have the advantage of seeing the mistakes from Poloniex and Bittrex before them and all these other ones, and basically learning from it. That's why their exchange accelerated so fast, because they had all the features they had like from the start. So yeah, we'll see.
I want to do a DDoS attack against the SEC, not in a cyber way, so I don't want to say anything illegal, but in a way where I just make a bunch of shell companies and keep submitting licensing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Keep submitting a bunch of licensing packages so they get like 1,000 of them every week.
And they're like,
what are all these?
Everybody's trying to get
too many. It was too many to look at.
1 million exchanges by the end of the year.
Right. Mike Bitcoin Outlaw says, sounds like government-backed attacks to keep fear into new crypto users. You actually never know.
Maybe.
Hey,
the EU is different, so I don't know. We'll see. Wouldn't be surprised.
That's true. All right, and then last but not least, Andy Warhol painting to be sold via blockchain in world's first crypto art auction.
You don't say.
Blockchain platform Mecenas has announced today, June 7th, that will hold the world's first cryptocurrency art auction. I'm not sure if that's actually true because we saw a few art auctions. Yeah, it's been a few, but hey, whatever, headlines. According to a press release shared with Cointelegraph, the platform will be selling fractional ownership of Andy Warhol's 14 small electric chairs worth $5.6 million at crypto-friendly UK fine art gallery Didani Syndicate. Hey, you all owe us some money for these shout outs we're giving you because this is like a sponsored rich article, even though it says news.
Yeah. 5.6 million.
Right. But that, I mean, it's pretty cool to publicly, and this is where you can kind of put things on the blockchain. We talked about it already. It's like, how can you kind of put like physical things on the blockchain when all somebody has to do is kind of lie about it?
Yeah.
But if it's done in a public space like this, I think that makes it a little bit more transparent and easier to do.
Yeah. And they also have a art token, which if you talk about utility tokens having a use case, the art token that will be used to pay for this, in my opinion, is an actual utility. Even though it may not be something you're interested in, if you find a utility for a token for painting, things of that nature, I've even put the idea out to some museums. You can put a QR code right under the painting. You can have your own token if you want. However, just accepting Bitcoin is perfectly fine. And you can have people tip. So even though you may not be able to afford a $10,000, $50,000 painting, if you appreciate the painting, you can donate $1 and you have, different artists who may not be able to sell, 40 paintings a year, but if they're getting tipped just based on how it inspired people, they can make a good living off of it. So it's good to see this. It's taken a little while simply because I think in the art world it's a little different. Like it's not that they don't want it. It's just that they don't want anything to do with.
It's about the creativity.
Yeah, it's about the creativity.
Artists,
we start talking about money and
that's business people come in. They don't like that,
and they don't like it. So I'm one of those people too. Like I don't like people constantly throwing information at me from a business standpoint if I don't want it. So I understood. I put it out there, but once they come around to it, it's better for them because as artists you don't have to worry about a lot of the red tape that goes into paying for it, right. The wiring. Like whoever pays $5.6 million, if they did it in cash or they did it in money, they would have to wire it from a bank to another bank.
They'll be paying more than $5.6 million.
They'll be paying more, yeah, because they got to pay the fees. Right. They got to pay whoever's the broker, the art broker. That's ridiculous. Like it's just too much red tape, and for artists, it should be as simple as possible.
Yeah, and shout out to his Meet Boss Lady. I know she's doing a lot of stuff in the blockchain and crypto space with all the art stuff. But in general, one of the things I like what you said about how you could tip the paintings. I think that'd be also an idea if you can somehow link your phone or it was an app where as soon as you took a picture, because you can't take pictures of art galleries or most of them like, hey, don't take the picture. If you could take a picture and automatically just tip from the camera, it'd be like, I don't know, maybe like $3 or something for every picture you take on your phone, just automatically does it.
Yeah, some developer out there may be able to do that.
Right,
hit us up if you got some ideas.
I was gonna say somebody make that happen. I think that's an idea that could work.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then last but not least, before we do the free Bitcoin, I want to give a shout out to one of our viewers. We'll just say TP. We want to throw his information out there. But he is a viewer. He's been watching us since episode 100. Got to give you a public shout out.
Yes, sir.
He was in LA recently. He came to see us. He's an international businessman. He played in the NFL, won a Super Bowl. But while he was in LA, he went to go visit the Rams Stadium and talk to the executives over there and got us one of these signed Super Bowl game balls. It has a certificate. Yeah, it has a certificate of authenticity over here with it. So as we told him, we're definitely gonna get a glass case for this and put that in there on display. And of course, get that certificate of authenticity laminate or something to put in some nice plastic.
Absolutely.
Inside that case as well. So TP, want to give a shout out to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. We definitely appreciate that ball, man. That was awesome.
Appreciate you, my guy.
And yeah, that Super Bowl ring you have is like bigger.
It's bigger than my eyeballs.
Right, you know. So shout out to you and thanks for all the support again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For the free Bitcoin day, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, so for
there we go. CryptoQ, my bad. CryptoQ said put the certificate on the blockchain.
Oh yeah,
I like that. There we go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's what I was gonna keep going with the art painting or with art and painting in general and cryptocurrency. What do you think of some ideas to help in museums, to help artists maybe sell their paintings along with blockchain? Give us your ideas, put that public address, and we'll send that free Bitcoin.
All right. As always, thank you for watching, people. We will see you all tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday?
Friday. Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow's a Friday. Oh, absolutely. Wow. Week over.
Yep. And don't forget the 2 promotions we got going. 50/50 promotion newsletter bundle. Most referrals gets the treasure. Already got a good amount of referrals of people coming in. Keep it going. It's great because I do know a lot of people are waiting for this 50% off sale. So definitely take a look at that. So,
boom. 7 newsletters, $10, people. Give you all your crypto information on these coins.
Absolutely.
All right, people. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are located in the world. And we will see you all tomorrow at 10-ish.
At 10-ish.
Cheers.
Have a good one, people.